Good evening, everybody. Welcome and thank you for braving the weather. They say that little rain is good on a wedding, so we think it's probably a good way to start the kickoff of the launching of the New Bedford Seafood brand, which is part of what we're here for today. In 2009, the Working Waterfront Festival began a partnership with the Northwest Atlantic Marine Alliance. That's a mouthful. So they call themselves M.A.M.A. And one of the things that M.A.M.A. did was to originate the Seafood Throwdown events. I believe they started the year before that, 2008. So in that second year of the Seafood Throwdown events, we were one of the first groups to do that event with M.A.M.A. We've been doing it ever since. So we did those events every year of the festival. And then last year, when everybody was missing the festival, we did one right here in Custom House Square. Some of you might remember it was in September. So this year, we're really excited to be part of this effort to launch the New Bedford Seafood brand. As most of you know, New Bedford is the nation's #1 fishing port, and we're trying to do a lot to draw attention to that. Yes, I think that does deserve a round of applause.
And we want to keep it their way, too.
Absolutely.
The first thing to announce is this contest. This is great stuff. I have to admit, I wasn't sure what a Seafood Throwdown was. So by show of hands, how many of you knew exactly what a Seafood Throwdown was? All right, so a few of you did. Oh, come on, you really did. No. But it's good. No, this is great stuff because you know, as the industry evolves, we need to keep up with the expectations and the preferences of consumers, and so it's really important that we not only be recognized as the biggest fishing port, not only as the biggest fish processing base, but really in the country, but also a place where all the newest things in the industry are happening, right? So whether it's cooking, whether it's the production of consumer goods that are made from fish, whether it's research, especially with all the great research going on down at M.A.M.A, we need to be seen as like the center of the fish universe on land, if that makes any sense to you, right? So this is the biggest fishing cluster in America, and we need to constantly evolve to improve things, and that's where this comes in. When I go off to places, including in Boston and other parts of New England, and they compare New Bedford to places like Gloucester or Provincetown as fishing ports, or Portsmouth, New Hampshire, Portland, and I pay attention to the data. There is a stark difference. There is a stark difference among all the ports. New Bedford dwarfs all these other places. Gloucester has 1/8 of the annual landings that New Bedford has. They're not comparable ports, and so we have to. What a lot of these other places do better than us is promote themselves better. They get out there and make their brands known, even though they don't catch nearly as much fish as we do, and they don't process nearly as much fish as we do, and they're not the center of everything fish like we are. But that's going to end now because we are, at long last, going to really start to promote ourselves. So what we have tonight to unveil for all the world to see is the new Bedford logo, which seafood logo. We are going to scream from the mountaintops that we are the biggest fishing port in America. We are a real seaport, a real fishing port, and we want everybody to know that. We want that on menus of restaurants all around America and beyond. We want everybody to know what an important place this is. We do a lot of stuff well in the port, but one of the things that we don't do well, and this is sort of a backhanded compliment to ourselves, we don't self-promote well. And we've got to do it. It is necessary. It will help our industry, but it will also elevate the stature of the city along the way. So thanks to lots of folks who put this together. Dagny Ashley, our tourism director, of course, Ed, and his team, Abby Heavey, everybody who is involved in way too many people to name. I really appreciate all the work that you guys have done, and now it's up to us. I want everybody to walk out of here with a hat or a beer bottle coaster, or warm, what do you call those things? It's a beer drinker. Yeah, that's right. Well, whatever it is, clean up that, spread it around, spread the word. We need to evangelize the place. That's what we're going to do with this, so that everybody in America makes no mistake that New Bedford is the biggest and the best. That's what we're trying to do.
A quick rundown of why we're even here, why we're doing Seafood Throwdowns. We've been doing these events for the past 9 years, and we love coming back to New Bedford I saw a bunch of folks raise their hands who know about Seafood Throwdowns, and that's awesome because I know a lot of you come year after year after year to be part of this, and we really appreciate it. We do this to talk about locally caught seafood. I don't know if y'all know, but we have a broken seafood system. We're disconnected. There's a huge amount of fraud going on. There's an enormous amount of seafood that's coming from overseas. Anyone know, just a quick kind of poll of the folks in the crowd, out of all the seafood that we eat here in the United States, all the seafood, how much do you think is imported? How much comes from overseas? Any guesses? We heard 70%. It's higher than that. The amount of seafood that gets imported, 90%, is 92%. Out of all the seafood that we eat here in the United States, 92% comes from overseas, and yet we catch enough good, clean, healthy food to actually feed ourselves. Who will judge based on 4 criteria: taste, creativity, presentation, and a really important one for the chefs, use of the whole animal.
Wow, that's a hake. What I call a mud hake.
Awesome.
It's a beautiful fish.
Yes,
Really.
it is.
It's a very soft
Very
white,
delicious.
very soft white fish, and it can be cooked easily.
Let's send our chefs off to the market, and then we want to hear more about
Yeah, good. Let's go.
this fish radar. And a little bit about your fishing days. Yay! They have 15 minutes, and then they'll be back.
350. That's 612. Get 2.
Any fresh parsley?
Curly parsley, flat leaf out of the truck.
How much is the celery?
Yeah, let's go another one.
250. I'll take 1.
Good evening, everyone. My name is Wendy Mainardi, and I work for the Massachusetts Division of Marine Fisheries. I run a program there that promotes our local seafood. My goal is to raise awareness and demand for Massachusetts seafood specifically. And what we do is we work with other organizations through partnerships. We go to events and we reach out to people. We come up with educational material. Really anything to sort of spread the good word and get people to inspire them to ask their local retailer or server for the local catch.
I think you guys will be happy with hake. Hake fish is a really lovely fish that you don't see around too much, but events like this are kind of waking people up to catch like this. So I run Farm and Coast Market in Caden Arran Village in South Dartmouth. We're a whole animal butcher shop, so we buy sides of beef, whole pigs, whole lamb. We make our own prosciutto, our own sausage, open for breakfast, lunch. We're open 7 days a week, twice on Sundays. And that's it. I'm happy to be here and be a part of it.
Hi, I'm Diane Nanfelt, and I'm co-owner of Kyler Seafood. It's a seafood business that's third generation. I'm part of the third. And we have a market as well as a wholesale division, and currently just opened recently rather a kitchen, so we have takeout. And I'm here, I supplied the hake, and I'm very interested to see how they prepare it, because my pleasure, because it really would be wonderful if people had more interest in hake, pollock, monkfish, some of these more sustainable items. We'd love to carry them in the market, but there's no demand. So call us up and tell us you want it, okay? But glad to be here. Happy to always happy to sample good food that's prepared well, like I did with Chris's last year, because I can't cook. I just sell it. I don't cook it well. So enjoy yourself and have a wonderful time.
Hi, I'm Dan Medeiros. I'm an editor and sometime writer, sometime photographer at the Herald News in Fall River, and I'm part of a rotation of people who writes food reviews for the Standard Times in New Bedford. It's me and I think three other gentlemen. We go around reviewing restaurants for the dine out section of the Standard Times. We go around anywhere from the Warren, East Providence area all the way to Plymouth, as far north as Taunton. I've been doing that for a couple of years, and it's a lot of fun. So I'm really eager to try what we're gonna be eating here today.
Minutes. All right, chefs, 30 minutes to go. We're halfway. In case you're just joining us, this is a Seafood Throwdown 2017, our 9th annual Seafood Throwdown here in New Bedford. Our secret, somewhat locally caught, seafood is hake. So they're cooking up hake. They got ingredients from the farmers markets. We're gonna wrap it up in a half an hour. And we have a fantastic panel of judges that's gonna judge based on 4 criteria: taste, creativity, presentation, and importantly, use of the whole animal. An act of conservation that we can all keep in mind is try and cook with the whole animal when we can, because we actually lose a lot of the edible parts of the fish when we fillet.
We had the honor to have a fellowship from the Library of Congress, that big library in Washington, D.C. And over the past 12 months or so, we've done interviews with 58 people in the local fishing industry. And these were not interviews with fishermen this time. These were interviews with people like Radar Bendixson and his sons who work on the shore. So we interviewed fish cutters, we interviewed net makers, we interviewed marine electronics people, we interviewed people who install and repair engines, all sorts of aspects of the fishing industry. So the interviews are being uploaded to the Library of Congress, and fairly soon, I hope, they will be available to the public, and you'll be able to listen to the interview. We have beautiful photographs that were taken by Phil Mello, and so all of that information will be available to people like yourselves, to researchers, to fishing communities. And if you think about it, 50 years from now, people may want to know, what was it like in 2017? How has it changed? So we're really excited about that. We also saved the date for August the 13th, which is a Sunday. We have also produced a film. And in fact, Radar is one of the people, I hesitate to say actors, but he's one of the people in the film. So we interviewed 6 different people and interspersed with historic footage and historic photographs, kind of look back at the history of the New Bedford fishing industry. And the film is called Finest Kind, the New Bedford Fishing Industry. It's a short orientation film. The film itself runs about 20 minutes, and then there's about 20 minutes of bonus tracks, pieces that didn't really fit into the body of the film, but they're part of the video that's been produced. So we're launching that, or screening it for the very first time, at Greasy Luck Brewery, which is just up here on Purchase Street. We thought that was kind of a great venue because it's nice size, and you can go a little early and order a meal, get some, something to drink, and sit down and watch the film. And after the film screening, we'll have the people who were interviewed in the film available to answer questions and just talk about, sort of do a Q&A and a little bit more talking. So it should be a really nice evening. That's Sunday, August 13th at 7 p.m. and that's also free of charge. And the last thing I'll mention right now is, if you're all getting a little bit hungry, tomorrow night is our annual fish fry fundraiser, and it's a wonderful, fun event. We have it at Tolley restaurant up in the North End. The seafood for that event was donated by Bedford Seafood, and Blount Fine Foods donated some chowder. Tolley is giving us the venue and providing their famous clam cakes. And my friend Roland, wonderful volunteer, waving at you from the back here, has a working waterfront hat on. Would be happy to sell you tickets if you're interested in joining us for the evening. The tickets are reasonably priced. They're $35 for adults and $15 for kids. And for that, you get a fish and chips dinner and chowder and clam cakes and a wonderful chocolate and vanilla cake. We also have some amazing auction items, including World War I vintage posters. We have a day going lobstering with a lobsterman in Boston Harbor. We have 3 sets of Red Sox tickets, including some tickets at the Loge, Home Plate Loge. I don't know what that means, but it sounds really good. And so it's going to be a great evening, and we'd love to have you come out and help support the Fishing Heritage Center. If you haven't been to the center, we're open Thursday through Sunday from 10 until 4, free of charge. And by appointment, we have had wonderful visits from school children all year long. And it's just, I think it's a really important time to have a center that's dedicated to telling the fishing industry story.
We have a Who Fishes Matters seafood card that offers a set of values that you can apply on your own depending on what you really care about. Think about seasonal, like we think about our tomatoes and lettuces and other vegetables. Is a seasonality to our seafood as well. We have Wendy here from the Massachusetts Division of Marine Fisheries. They put out a really great chart about what seafood is available at what times throughout the year, and we have the chart here with us, so you can pick that chart up. It's great. Some seafood is available throughout the year, and some has seasonal elements, so consider that. Choose wild whenever possible. At the heart of our mission, we really believe that when we consume seafood, we want to factor in its impact to our ocean, our communities, providing decent livelihoods for our fishermen, all these things. But like we think about our wild caught, scale also matters. We really want to support our community scale fishermen and avoid industrial fishing. Just like with farming, the industrial scale farms have a major impact on our food system, the health of our land, our soils. So we think about the same way with our wild caught and our farm fish, kind of avoid industrial and support community scale. Each chef got to bring their own 3 special ingredients without knowing what the fish was. They brought it. So let's check in. We didn't get to hear from each chef what those 3 ingredients were.
It's all about New Bedford, right? So I changed a little bit of sort of the setting of gumbo, which I absolutely love. I lived in Georgia for about 12 years, and I'm very fond of Southern food, and I love gumbo, which is one of... What's that? My Gumbo Loco makes it that instead of using andouille sausage, I use linguiça sausage. Okay, so I use linguiça sausage and went a little bit with my own spice for a gumbo seasoning. And then, of course, gumbo has to have okra, which is very indigenous, also from New Bedford, because there's a lot of Cape Verdeans in the area, and they love okra, and so do I, because I was actually born in Angola. So I have to you know, bring sort of a little bit of a flair into the city. So I use linguiça and okra. So hopefully you like it. We'll see.
So let's check in with Chef Ed from How on Earth. Ed, what did you bring? What were your 3 ingredients that are now getting paired with the hake?
I brought cilantro berries from Eva's.
Cilantro berries from Eva's. Spanish chorizo. And yogurt. Alright, interesting combo. We're getting close. We're under 15 minutes. The question is, what is the condition of the hake fishery? So the very short answer is, it's doing well. It's a well-managed fish. The quick 101, the hake fishery is managed by our federal government. It swims from 3 miles out to 200 miles off of our coast. That's the jurisdiction for our federal oversight of the fish. So the government has a total allowable catch that they say for hake can be removed from the ocean, and each year that allocation gets doled out to a bunch of different fishermen, and they don't go over that limit. So that's a really short version of how the rules work. So we're doing a lot better today. We can continue doing a lot better. Time check. We are at 11 minutes. 11 minutes, everybody. We're getting close.
Enjoy, guys. You too.
Great presentation. I like the heat, and the fish was cooked pretty much perfectly. I did catch a couple bones, and
well, you said the whole animal, right? All right, let's hear from our judge, Wendy, at the Massachusetts Division of Marine Fisheries. Wendy, what are you thinking?
This is excellent. I think that the fish is, I'm going to echo that, cooked perfectly. Not too overdone at all. It's like just flaky. The skin is delicious. It has a lot of flavor. And the spice is really great and interesting. It's very balanced.
I agree, it was perfectly cooked. I don't like overcooked fish at all, no matter what kind it is, and this is wonderful. There's still a little gleam to it when I fork it, and it flakes nicely, so well done there. Yeah. And I love how they used all the vegetables. I do think that it is a little spicy. I can taste that. I'm not a huge spice fan, even though I am Portuguese by descent. Don't tell my baba, she will be very, very angry at me. But at the Spanish linguiça, or the Spanish sausages, it's good, and I think that the yogurt does tone it down just enough so that it's not super overpowering, so that well done.
Yeah, I really love it. It's very light and delicate. I love the skin as well. The veggies are really have a really nice bite to them. I like that. I always look for great vegetables every time I eat a dish out of a review. Yeah, so I'm really impressed, and it looks beautiful. I almost didn't want to touch it. It looks so wonderful.
Bring it on, Joe.
All judging us today. There you go. And there we go.
All right. We got one more round of hearing from our judges about what they think about Chef Joe's hake, gumbo hake. So Dan, from the Herald News, what do you think about the hake, the gumbo?
It's really good. I like the spice. It's very spicy, but it's not overpowering. Really nice and savory. I like the linguiça in there a lot. The fish itself, really nicely cooked. Yeah, I'm very pleased with this too.
All right, awesome. Very positive review. Diana from Kyler's Catch, what are you thinking?
The same. Excuse me. Well done. I like the linguiça, again, Portuguese descent. It's familiar, so that's fun, but it's presented in a different way. Everything's really well cooked. Not overdone well, but it's done perfectly. And on a rainy day like this, it's better than a soup. Without the rice, it's more soupy.
Okay, I second that. It's perfect for this weather here. I think it's wonderful. It's interesting how it's similar to a cataplana or a cioppino, one of these dishes that we see on menus around here. So it's similar, but it really has that southern vibe. I just spent actually my last 6 days were in New Orleans, so I'm coming back fresh with that palate. I can taste it. And the linguiça is really interesting. It's in large chunks, which I wasn't expecting. So and I like that.
This is great. Also, really great flavor. Well seasoned. Okra, guys, nice job with the okra. No sliminess. Okra can sometimes be a tricky ingredient to work with, so they got that one good. I personally could eat potatoes every day of my life, so I'm okay with a gumbo without rice. It's gonna be a tough choice. These are both delicious, well executed.
Joe and Mike from Cask and Pig. We have Ed and Mark from How on Earth. And the winner, by a very small margin, was Ed Rozak from How on Earth.
How on earth?
There are oceans and rocks, places where fish swim and birds fly, where mountains spring up and trees and grass grow all around. History is made, art is created, things happen that should always be remembered. Heroes emerge. A woman sets people free. A man makes light. A leader steps forward. People get together. They help each other out. They make their own places to run and play and contemplate the universe. There's pride and gratitude and fun. It belongs to everyone. It can be a place, a feeling, a state of mind. So get up, get out there, and find your park.